welcome back to Virtual Programming. Before you go, let me just tell you that if you watch this video, I'll give you a penny. Okay? Okay, I actually won't give you a penny, but I will show you a really cool way to clean pennies and make them nice and shiny again using ketchup. So I'm sure some of you are sitting there thinking that I am absolutely crazy. How on earth would we clean pennies with ketchup? But if you stick around and watch the video, I'll show you how. So the materials we'll need for today's video will be some pennies. So I picked 4 because I'm going to have 4 solutions I'm going to test out. You want these pennies to be kind of dirty. So think of the pennies that you find at the bottom of your purse or your piggy bank or hidden in a parking lot. We want those pennies that even if you rinse them off in water, there's still some dark coloring around the penny. So pennies are definitely something you'll need. You will also need some containers to hold the substances that you're going to test out. Now for the substances, you will definitely need some ketchup and access to water. The other substances that you test out will be completely up to you. They can be really any item that you find in your kitchen. So I've decided that I'm going to do mayo and lemon juice as my other 2 substances to test out. The last thing you'll want to have for this activity is some paper towel, not only to be able to wipe the pennies off, but to be able to set them on there so we don't make a big mess. So why don't we go ahead and get this experiment started. As you can see, I have my containers laid out and labeled with each substance that I'll be testing out. So I've already added my water. For substances that are kind of liquidy, like the lemon juice or water, all you need to do is pour enough in the container so that it will cover the penny. For the other substances, like the ketchup and the mayo, I suggest that you squirt a little bit into the bottom of the container, place the penny in, and then cover it up with another squirt. We want to make sure that the pennies are completely covered. Otherwise, this experiment won't be fair because some pennies will only be covered halfway and other pennies will be covered completely. So let's go ahead and get our pennies started. So we can go ahead and drop these into their substances. We'll add in the mayo and the ketchup. You want to go ahead and poke it down so that it gets all covered. So don't be afraid to get your hands a little dirty for this experiment. It's a-okay, we're definitely washable. All right, and now the most fun part of the experiment. We have to wait. So we're gonna leave our pennies alone for about 5 minutes and then we'll come back and check on them. All right, so I'll see you in 5 minutes. All right, everyone, welcome back to our experiment. So I will be honest, I did take a little extra time to let my pennies soak. I honestly kind of forgot about them and they went probably about half an hour, more so than 5 minutes. However, it's time now to take them out and see if they've cleaned up a little bit. Did anybody make a hypothesis or a guess about which one would be the best? I know I told you that we were going to clean pennies with ketchup, but do you think any of the other substances did a better job? If you'd like, you can comment your guess under the video on our Facebook page. Anyway, let's go ahead and take our pennies out. We'll give them a wipe with the paper towel and see what they look like. So, something kind of cool has happened with our experiment. So I told you that ketchup would be the one that cleaned the pennies the best, right? Let's take a look at our pennies and you can decide whether or not I was right. So here is the penny that we cleaned with water. It's still kind of crusty. We still have a lot of dark color and grit on it, so the water didn't do so well. Next, we have our ketchup. So our ketchup did an okay job. You can see that Mr. Lincoln's face is a little bit brighter and shinier, and so is the back. In the middle, there's a little bit more of a shine, but he's still not bright like a new penny, right? Our lemon juice did an even better job. There's a lot more shine, and there's not that dark color coating the penny. So that leaves our mayo, and I'll admit I'm very, very surprised. But look at how this guy turned out. He is so much brighter than the rest of our pennies. Look at that. He looks practically new. So the reason I thought ketchup would be the best substance for cleaning a penny comes down to understanding basic chemical reactions. So everything in the world is made up of different atoms and molecules, which have these little charged particles called ions. And when these ions react, they create chemical reactions. That's just a really basic explanation, but I don't want to go too deep into it. But basically, ketchup has vinegar and salt in it. Now vinegar is something called an acid, and an acid has a certain type of ion called hydrogen ions. When they meet with the penny and react, the reaction scrubs away all that dark color from the penny and makes it look shiny again. Now, that didn't happen with our penny that was in the water, because water is something called a base. It doesn't have many hydrogen ions, it has something called hydroxide ions. So bases don't really react with the stuff that's covering the penny. Now, I took a look at the ingredients on my mayo, and this also had vinegar and salt in its mix. So my conclusion is that the mayo had more salt and vinegar than the ketchup did. And that's why it did a better job at cleaning the penny. So, I hope you enjoyed our experiment today. As I said, I know it didn't quite turn out the way I told you it would, but that's part of science. In science, we're making educated guesses and we're testing to find out if they're true or not. That's all part of the scientific process. So, if you made your own guess or your own hypothesis, as I said, I'd love if you shared it and let me know what the results were. Maybe you tried something different around your house, like vinegar, or maybe you tried mustard, or soy sauce, or pancake syrup. There's all types of different substances that we can test with this experiment. So if you did try something different, let me know how it turned out. As always, really proud of everyone for continuing to learn and grow each and every day. Simple experiments like this are a lot of fun and they really help your critical thinking. So thank you for participating. I wish each and every one of you all the best, and I'll see you on the next video.